Hi everyone, this is Julianne Victoria. Welcome to the channel. This is our Vedic astrology perspective on the full moon that occurs on December 4th or 5th, depending on your time zone, 2025 at 3:14 p.m. and that time is for here on the Pacific coast. So we have our full moon here in the sign of Taurus in the nakshatra of Rohini. So the moon is exalted in Taurus in the whole sign, but more specifically it is exalted in Kritika, which is the nakshatra before Rohini. But the moon is still in an exaltated state throughout the sign of Taurus. So the moon, besides being a full moon, which makes it a strong moon, it is also exalted. And it is reflecting strongly. It is reflecting the sun, Venus, who rules Taurus, so who rules the moon's placement, and Mars, who rules the sign of Scorpio. So this full moon is reflecting all this energy. Mars and his scorpionic intensity, the drive for inner transformation, right? Scorpio is a sign of death, change, and transformation. It's the sign, and in this chart, it's also the eighth house, eighth sign, of digging deep within. Also digging deep in the earth, right? There's physical, practical aspects of the eighth house, but it is very much an inner process house. Then, of course, the moon's reflecting the sun, shining brightly here, and Venus, the ruler of Taurus. So all this energy, this intense scorpionic energy, enhanced by its ruler Mars, by the brightness of the sun, and Venus, who's ruling the moon, all being reflected in this Taurus energy. And it's fiery. Fiery not only because Mars is in Scorpio being reflected by the moon, right? So you could say Mars and Sun and Venus are in a drishti to the moon. The moon is in Rohini, which is the red eye of the bull, right? It's the red star Aldebaran in the constellation of Taurus. I want to say it's like our own eye is watching us and reflecting. Another way to say it is that this moon is bringing to light, highlighting for us, showing us through our own eyes what we need to reflect upon within ourselves that is transforming or needs to be transformed. What needs to come to our conscious awareness out of those deep, murky, scorpionic depths, right? What transformative process do we now need to be aware of? Or possibly for those who've been going through a deep process, what inner process is coming to culmination? What is coming to fullness with this full moon? And how can we both embrace it, love it with Venus Taurus energy here, and integrate it within our sense of self? Now, the sense of self is really important here with this full moon. So the full moon is in the second sign of Taurus, and it's the second house in this full moon's chart. The second house is a very material house. You know, it's a house of money, gains, finances, possessions. I call it the house of stuff. But what's not often talked about is that it is also the house of self-worth. How do we value ourselves? So how do we view ourselves? Do we treat ourselves with the same love and respect that we treat others, or that we expect others to treat us? Whatever is transforming within, whatever is coming to light, whatever is being shown to us from the depths of ourselves, whatever we've stuffed away, not seen, denied, there is an energy of secrets coming out, that's Scorpio energy, secrets coming to light. And that came up in the new moon readings, the last new moon readings, but this is more like it's internal, it's within us. And even if a secret external comes to light with this energy, we need to reflect upon it and say, what does that tell me about me in that situation? Or how is that a reflection of me that I now need to reflect upon within myself? That is coming through. And whatever transformative process we embrace, that we work with, whatever journey you could say of self-love you are on and self-respect, that's going to grow and enhance. So our sense of self in general and our sense of self-worth as a human being will likely increase with this full moon. Okay, so let's look at the drishtis here. Besides, of course, Mars, Sun, and Venus, looking at this full moon. Oh, and I shall say, Rohini is ruled by the moon, so the moon's in his own nakshatra, right? That makes it even stronger. It's a very strong moon. And I would say, like, with this energy, dive into this. Whether you journal, whether you talk to a friend, whether it's more intense and you need to talk to a therapist, do this reflection. I'll say it's very important. If you're aware of it, dive into it. So back to the drishti. So the only other drishti is from Saturn here, and Saturn is in the 12th sign of Pisces, 12th house in this chart. Saturn is in the realm of the unconscious as well as liberation and moksha. So this could also come through a spiritual practice, through a meditation practice, and so on. And Saturn is the lord of transformation. He's also the karmic lord. That does not mean retribution in any way, but this is it's like timing, right? So Saturn is also rules time, Chronos, father time. This is an important time to do this deep inner work. In whatever capacity you are capable of doing it, whether it's just a teeny bit, once a week, 5 minutes a day with a journal, whether you're going to therapy 3 times a week, but it's like the right time. More than Chronos, it's Kairos. It's the right time for this process. And for those with whom this resonates, like, I feel like it's already happening. You're already aware of it. And the moon is just saying, now it's time to fully reflect, see it for all of what it is, and move forward with your transformative process with what comes to light. Okay. All right, that is the gist of our Vedic full moon. I will have the Western reading and then the tarot reading video up next. Yeah, wishing everyone good luck, and I'll see you back here soon.